Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe slowly. Right now, in this very instant, something invisible is happening all around you. Not metaphorically, physically. Beneath your skin, within the atoms that make your body, across the empty space between stars, there exists something science has only recently begun to understand. A vast humming presence. A quiet symphony playing the music of existence itself. Have you ever wondered what reality truly is? Not what you see or touch, but what lies beneath those sensations. What if I told you that everything you perceive, the solid ground beneath your feet, the light entering your eyes, the thoughts moving through your mind, all of it emerges from invisible fields stretching across the entire universe, not as metaphor, as fact. Welcome. Before we begin this gentle journey into the deepest layer of existence, I invite you to subscribe to the Relaxing Science channel. Give this video a like if you wish to explore more peaceful explorations of how the world truly works. And please share with us, where are you listening from right now? What time is it where you are? Your presence here matters. Tonight we drift through something called quantum fields. These are not the fields you see on Earth. No grass, no flowers. These are invisible realms of possibility and potential, layered throughout space itself. They are the foundation upon which all matter, all energy, all life rests. And the most beautiful part? They operate with a kind of quiet elegance that feels almost poetic once you understand it. Imagine standing in complete darkness, not frightening darkness, but peaceful darkness, the kind you experience just before sleep takes you. In this darkness, imagine countless invisible threads vibrating gently. Each thread hums at its own frequency. Some vibrate slowly and deeply, others oscillate rapidly, creating higher pitches. Together, they create a symphony so vast and so intricate that it has never stopped playing since the universe began. This is not imagination. This is the closest way human language can describe what physicists call quantum fields. For decades, scientists believed the universe was made of tiny, solid particles, atoms, electrons, quarks, little billiard balls bouncing around in empty space. But deeper investigation revealed something stranger and more wonderful. These particles are not fundamental. They are not the bottom layer. They are ripples, disturbances, excitations within something far more fundamental, the fields themselves. Think of it like this. Imagine an ocean of infinite depth and infinite extent. This ocean is not made of water. It is made of pure potential, pure possibility. Now imagine that what we call particles, electrons, photons, quarks, are simply waves on the surface of this ocean. When the ocean vibrates in a certain way, we detect what we call an electron. When it vibrates differently, we detect light. The particles are not separate from the field. They are the field, expressing itself in motion. This changes everything about how we understand existence. There is an electron field permeating all of space. An electron is not a tiny object moving through space. It is a vibration in this field. A photon, the particle of light, is a vibration in the electromagnetic field. A quark is a vibration in a quark field. And there are many such fields. Some have been discovered. Some remain hidden, waiting for future science to reveal them. Together, these overlapping fields create the fabric of reality itself. What makes this even more remarkable is that these fields are never truly still. Even in absolute emptiness, even in the depths of space where no stars shine and no atoms exist, the fields are alive with activity. They vibrate, they fluctuate. They create and destroy particles in a dance so rapid and so intricate that it happens billions of times per second at every point in space. This is not chaos. This is order. This is the universe breathing. And you are made of this. Your body, your consciousness, your very being is a temporary arrangement of these field vibrations. The atoms in your bones are stable patterns in these fields. The electrical impulses in your brain are movements of electrons, which are ripples in the electron field. When you think, you are witnessing the universe thinking through itself. When you breathe, the atoms you exchange with the air were born in the hearts of dying stars, patterns in these same eternal fields. This realization brings a kind of peace. You are not separate from the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself. You are the cosmos made conscious for a brief and precious moment. The journey we begin tonight is one of gentle discovery. We will explore how these invisible fields work. We will understand how they create particles. We will see how they interact with each other, how they dance together to create the complexity of atoms, molecules, and ultimately, the world you inhabit. We will do this without equations, without jargon that confuses rather than clarifies. We will do this poetically, allowing the wonder of these truths to wash over you like a calm tide. As we move deeper into this exploration, you may find yourself relaxing. This is natural. The contemplation of these vast truths, these deep patterns underlying reality, has a way of quieting the mind. It stills the constant chatter of daily concerns. It reminds us that we are part of something infinitely larger, infinitely older, infinitely more beautiful than our individual worries. So settle in. Find comfort. Let your breathing slow. The universe is about to reveal its secrets to you, not through complexity but through clarity, not through fear but through wonder, not through speed, but through the eternal patience of fields that have been singing their symphony since before time itself began. In the next moments, we move into the heart of this invisible symphony. We explore what happens when these fields vibrate. We discover how a disturbance in the quantum foam creates the particles that build worlds. We learn the gentle language through which the universe speaks to itself. But first, simply breathe. Feel your body. Feel the atoms in your skin, the electrons in your cells, all of them vibrations in fields that extend infinitely in all directions. You are not in the universe is in you. This is where our story begins. Now that you understand fields exist everywhere, let's explore how they actually create reality. Think of space not as empty, but as alive with potential. Every field vibrates at different frequencies, like an infinite orchestra tuning itself before the performance begins. When we observe nature closely, we discover something remarkable. Nothing is truly solid. What feels like matter, your hand, this moment, the ground beneath you, is actually organized vibration. Fields don't create particles as separate objects. Instead, particles emerge when energy concentrates within a field, like a wave rising briefly from an ocean before settling back down. Imagine a drum stretched tight. When you strike it, the surface vibrates and creates sound waves. Now imagine infinite drums filling all of space, each one vibrating at its own frequency. Some vibrate slowly, others rapidly. When one drum vibrates particularly intensely, we perceive that as a particle. When it settles, the particle vanishes. This is not metaphor. This is how quantum fields actually behave. Scientists have spent decades confirming this through experiments. When particles collide in accelerators, they don't crash like billiard balls. Instead, their fields interact, exchange energy, and transform into different particles. An electron can become a photon. A photon can become two particles. The transformation happens because fields are flexible, responsive, alive with possibility. This discovery emerged from combining two great theories of the 20th century. Einstein showed us that energy and matter are interchangeable through his famous equation. Quantum mechanics revealed that particles behave like waves, existing in multiple states simultaneously until observed. When physicists merged these insights, they discovered fields where the fundamental language reality speaks. Consider the electromagnetic field. It fills all of space invisibly. When this field vibrates at specific frequencies, we perceive light. Different vibration rates create different colors. Red light vibrates slowly. Violet light vibrates quickly. But they are the same phenomenon, the electromagnetic field dancing at different tempos. This field also creates electricity and magnetism. It is one unified expression of nature, manifesting in countless forms. The electron field works similarly. Electrons are not tiny spheres orbiting atoms. They are ripples in the electron field, confined to regions around nuclei by the electromagnetic field's attraction. When you touch something and feel resistance, you are not experiencing solid matter. You are experiencing the electromagnetic repulsion between electron fields in your skin and electron fields in the object. You are touching fields, not things. Every fundamental force in nature corresponds to a field. Gravity flows through space-time itself, which is also a field. The weak nuclear force, which powers the sun's fusion, emerges from field interactions. The strong nuclear force, which binds quarks into protons and neutrons, is another field expression. Matter-energy forces all are manifestations of fields vibrating in harmony. Here is where it becomes profound. These fields are not separate. They overlap, interact, and influence each other constantly. The universe is not a collection of independent objects. It is one interconnected system of fields, each vibrating, each affecting others, creating the intricate dance we call reality. Scientists have measured the properties of these fields with extraordinary precision. They have confirmed that particles are indeed excitations within fields. They have shown that particles can tunnel through barriers, exist in superposition, and communicate instantaneously across distances. None of this makes sense if particles are solid objects. Everything makes perfect sense if particles are vibrations in underlying fields. This understanding has practical consequences. Semiconductors, lasers, nuclear power, and medical imaging all depend on quantum field theory. These technologies work because engineers understand how fields behave. The fact that these devices function reliably proves the theory's accuracy. What makes this discovery particularly soothing to contemplate is its implication. You are not separate from the universe. Your body is composed of atoms, which are organized fields. Your thoughts arise from electrical and chemical processes, which are field interactions. At the deepest level, you are the universe experiencing itself through a temporary arrangement of fields. The boundary between you and everything else is not as solid as it appears. Fields vibrate eternally. They never truly stop. Even at absolute zero temperature, quantum fields maintain what physicists call zero-point energy. They continue vibrating at their lowest possible frequency. This means reality is never completely still. Existence is perpetual gentle motion, infinite patterns of vibration, creating and recreating themselves endlessly. As you breathe, your lungs move air. That air is made of atoms. Those atoms are fields. Your breath is literally moving quantum fields around. When you inhale, you draw fields into your body. When you exhale, you release them back into the atmosphere. You are breathing in fields that were once part of stars, mountains, oceans, and countless other beings. Every breath connects you to the entire cosmos. This continuous exchange of fields means nothing is ever truly lost. Energy transforms, reorganizes, and flows through different forms. The atoms in your body have existed since the beginning of the universe. They have been part of countless other beings and objects. You are temporarily organizing ancient fields into the pattern called you. In time, these fields will reorganize into something else, but they will never disappear. They will simply dance in new forms. The universe, viewed through quantum fields, is not a machine made of separate parts. It is a unified whole, eternally vibrating, eternally creating itself through the interaction of invisible fields. This is the foundation upon which all reality rests. This is what science has discovered about the deep structure of existence. Where are you listening from right now? What time is it there? I would like to know. Let me know in the comments below. Now, let's move deeper into how these invisible fields actually transform into the world you experience. Think of a still pond at dawn. When you drop a stone, ripples spread outward. Each ripple carries energy. Energy moves, energy dances. And in that dance, something remarkable happens. The quantum fields we discovered earlier are not passive. They are restless. They vibrate constantly, even in what we call emptiness. This vibration is not random. It follows patterns. Beautiful, mathematical patterns that have existed since the universe began. These patterns are the heartbeat of reality. When a field vibrates at just the right frequency, something emerges. A particle is born. But here is the poetic truth. The particle is not separate from the field. It is the field expressing itself. A wave becoming visible. A thought becoming form. The field says yes and matter appears. Consider the electron field. Imagine it as an infinite ocean of potential stretching through all of space. Most of the time, this ocean appears calm, but occasionally it trembles. In that trembling, an electron materializes. It does not come from nowhere. It emerges from the field itself, like a dolphin rising from the sea. The dolphin is the ocean made temporary. The electron is the field made momentary. This is where energy and matter become one concept. Energy is the field's capacity to vibrate. Matter is the field's vibration made dense enough to feel solid. There is no true separation. A photon, the particle of light, is simply the electromagnetic field, oscillating in a particular way. An electron is the electron field, oscillating in its own unique rhythm. All particles are fields singing their own songs. Now imagine billions of these fields existing simultaneously in the same space. The electron field hums here, the photon field dances there, the quark fields spiral in their own dimensions. They overlap, they influence each other. They create interference patterns like ripples meeting ripples in that pond, creating new shapes where they intersect. This interaction is where complexity blooms. When fields touch, they transfer energy. When they transfer energy, new vibrations emerge. These new vibrations can create new particles. Particles can collide and transform into other particles. One field's vibration becomes another field's echo. The universe is a vast conversation between fields, a symphony where every instrument is made of the same material, vibrating potential. Here is something that might help you rest. You are not made of solid matter. You are made of organized fields vibrating in harmony. Your atoms are not tiny spheres. They are patterns. Stable, beautiful patterns where multiple fields dance together in such a way that they create the illusion of solidity. Your hand, your heart, your breath. All of these are fields expressing themselves through organized vibration. The atoms in your body are held together by forces that are themselves fields. The electromagnetic field binds electrons to nuclei. The strong nuclear force, which is itself a field, holds quarks together inside the nucleus. These forces are not separate from matter. They are fields interacting with fields, everything touching everything else through the medium of vibrating potential. Think about what this means for your sense of self. The boundary between you and the universe is not as solid as it seems. Your atoms exchange particles with the air constantly. Your body radiates light as infrared energy. You are literally vibrating, sending ripples into the quantum fields around you. The universe is not separate from you. You are the universe vibrating in a particular way, in this particular location, at this particular moment. Energy flows through you constantly. The sun's photons strike your skin, and you absorb their energy. This energy powers the chemical reactions in your cells. It allows your neurons to fire. It enables your breath. It sustains your consciousness. You are not a closed system. You are an open pattern through which the universe's energy flows. You are a temporary eddy in an eternal current. The vibrations that create you are the same vibrations that created stars. The fields that organize your atoms organized the first atoms in the universe. The energy that powers your thoughts powered the first moments after creation. You are made of ancient light. You are made of fields that have been vibrating for billions of years. In a very real sense, you are the universe's way of experiencing itself. This brings us to something profound: stability. You might wonder why you do not simply dissolve. Why do these vibrating fields maintain patterns stable enough for you to exist? The answer lies in energy. Fields settle into the lowest energy state available. An electron field vibrates at a frequency that creates a stable pattern. That pattern is what we call an electron. It persists because it requires less energy to maintain than to change. Atoms form because electrons, nuclei, and electromagnetic fields find a configuration of vibration that is stable. Molecules form because atoms can vibrate together in ways that lower the total energy. Your body exists because billions of fields have found configurations so stable that they persist through time. But persistence is not permanence. Everything is temporary. Everything is always changing. Everything is always vibrating. Yet in this constant motion there is rest. The fields are not struggling to maintain themselves. They are simply following their nature. A river does not struggle to flow. It flows because that is what rivers do. Your atoms do not struggle to vibrate. They vibrate because that is what fields do. There is a gentleness in this understanding. There is peace in recognizing that you are part of a process so vast and ancient that you need not worry about maintaining yourself. The universe is already doing that. Let your awareness settle here for a moment. Feel the vibrations. Not with your ears, but with your deeper sense. Your atoms are dancing. Your cells are singing. Your body is a song the universe is singing through you. This song has been singing for billions of years. It will continue long after you return to silence. You are temporary. The fields are eternal, and you are made of them. Now we arrive at something profound. You know fields vibrate. You understand that particles emerge from these vibrations like ripples on an infinite ocean. But there is a deeper mystery we must explore gently. How does nothingness become something? How does silence transform into existence? Imagine standing at the edge of absolute stillness. Not the absence of sound, but the absence of everything. Even in this void, something extraordinary happens. Quantum fields possess what physicists call zero-point energy. This means that even at their lowest possible state, fields never truly rest. They shimmer with infinite potential. Think of it this way: a piano string, when struck, vibrates and produces sound. But even when untouched, the string exists in a state of tension. It holds potential energy. Quantum fields are similar, except their potential is woven into the fabric of existence itself. They are always present, always humming, always ready to birth particles from their own nature. When a field vibrates slightly above its ground state, something miraculous occurs. A particle appears, not from somewhere else, not created by an external hand. The particle emerges directly from the field itself, as naturally as a wave rises from water. The field and the particle are not separate things. The particle is the field expressing itself in a localized way. This is where existence truly begins, not with a bang or a flash, but with a gentle oscillation. A field trembles. Reality responds. A particle is born. But here is what makes this even more beautiful. Particles do not exist in isolation. When one field vibrates into a particle, it disturbs nearby fields. These disturbances ripple outward, creating cascades of interactions. An electron emerges, and immediately it influences the electromagnetic field around it. That influence creates a photon, a particle of light. The photon travels, interacts with other fields, and creates more particles. You can visualize this as a vast web of communication. Each vibration sends messages through the quantum fabric. Each message creates new vibrations. Each new vibration births new particles. The universe is not a collection of separate objects. It is a continuous conversation between fields, expressed through the language of particles. What stabilizes this constant dance? What prevents the universe from collapsing into chaos? The answer lies in something called interaction strength. Some fields influence each other powerfully. Others interact weakly. The electromagnetic field, for instance, couples strongly with charged particles like electrons. This strong interaction creates stable structures. Atoms form. Molecules emerge. Chemistry becomes possible. The weak interaction, by contrast, operates at smaller scales and shorter ranges. Yet it too is essential. It allows certain particles to transform into others, enabling the nuclear processes that power stars and create the elements that make up your body. Nothing in the universe is weak in importance. Every interaction, no matter how subtle, contributes to the grand architecture of existence. As you rest with this understanding, notice something remarkable. The particles that compose your body, the electrons orbiting your atoms, the quarks bound within your nuclei, all emerged from quantum fields. They are not permanent objects. They are temporary expressions of eternal fields. Your body is not made of things. Your body is made of patterns, patterns of vibration, patterns of interaction, patterns of the universe knowing itself. Consider your heartbeat. With each pulse, billions of atoms shift position. These atoms are not moving like billiard balls on a table. They are reorganizing themselves according to the underlying field patterns. Your heart beats because quantum fields are orchestrating the dance of particles that compose your heart muscle. The rhythm you feel is the rhythm of fields expressing themselves through matter. This perspective transforms how we understand stability and change. You might think of yourself as fixed and permanent, but at the quantum level, you are in constant flux. Fields are continuously vibrating. Particles are constantly appearing and disappearing. Yet from this ceaseless motion, emerges the illusion of solidity, of a stable self that persists through time. The universe accomplishes this miracle through what physicists call symmetry. Fields possess internal symmetries that constrain how they can vibrate. These constraints create patterns. These patterns repeat. Repetition creates stability. Stability creates the appearance of permanence. Yet beneath this appearance, everything flows. Where are you listening from right now? What surrounds you in this moment? Whatever you see, walls, sky, other people, is ultimately composed of vibrating fields expressing themselves as particles. The chair supporting you, the air you breathe, the light entering your eyes, all are quantum fields in their infinite conversation. This understanding brings a peculiar peace. You are not separate from the universe. You are not trapped in a body like a ghost in a machine. You are the universe experiencing itself locally. You are organized fields that have become conscious enough to contemplate their own nature. Your thoughts are fields vibrating. Your perceptions are fields interacting. Your existence is the cosmos expressing one of its infinite possibilities. As we continue deeper, hold this image gently in your mind. Beneath everything, beneath atoms, beneath light, beneath thought itself, flows an ocean of quantum fields. From this ocean, all existence emerges. Into this ocean, all existence returns. You are swimming in this ocean always. Sometimes you forget, but the ocean never forgets. It continues its eternal vibration, creating and sustaining all that is. The next layer of understanding awaits. But for now, let yourself rest in the knowledge that your existence is not accidental. It is not a random arrangement of matter. It is a precise expression of quantum fields, tuned to exist exactly as you do. In this exact moment, in this exact place, the universe has organized itself to create you. That is extraordinary. That is worth contemplating. That is worth knowing deeply. Imagine standing at the edge of an invisible ocean. You cannot see it, cannot touch it directly. Yet every photon of light that reaches your eyes travels through this vast expanse. This is the electromagnetic field, one of the most intimate forces shaping your existence right now. Light itself is not a thing traveling through space. Light is the electromagnetic field speaking. When an electron vibrates in the quantum realm, it creates ripples across this invisible ocean. Those ripples move outward at the speed of light, carrying energy and information across the cosmos. What you perceive as a beam of sunlight is actually the electromagnetic field oscillating in a particular way, a gentle wave of pure energy moving through the universe. This is where poetry and physics merge beautifully. The same field that carries the warmth of the sun to your skin, that allows you to see these words, that enables every color you have ever witnessed, is fundamentally the same field that binds atoms together. There is no separation between the light that reaches you and the forces holding your body intact. It is all one continuous expression of the electromagnetic field, vibrating at different frequencies, creating different effects. When an electron moves, it disturbs the electromagnetic field around it. This disturbance spreads outward like ripples on water. If the electron accelerates, the disturbance becomes stronger, more pronounced. These disturbances are what we call electromagnetic radiation. Visible light is one expression of this radiation. Radio waves are another. Infrared heat is another still. X-rays and gamma rays are the same field, only vibrating at much higher frequencies, carrying more energy per oscillation. Think of it this way: a calm lake reflects the sky perfectly. But drop a stone into that water, and ripples spread outward in all directions. The electromagnetic field is like that lake, and every charged particle is like a stone being dropped into it. The ripples created by these particles are the forces and radiation we observe. But here is the profound part. The field itself never disappears. It is always there, always present, whether disturbed or still. This field does something extraordinary. It carries force between particles. When two electrons repel each other, they are not actually touching. Instead, they are exchanging virtual photons through the electromagnetic field. These virtual photons are not real in the sense you might imagine. They exist only briefly as quantum fluctuations within the field itself. yet they carry the repulsive force that keeps electrons separated. The electromagnetic field is the messenger, the medium and the force all at once. Now here is where your previous understanding deepens. Recall that particles emerge from quantum field vibrations. Electrons are vibrations in the electron field, but those electrons only exist and interact because of the electromagnetic field surrounding them. The two fields are intertwined, inseparable. An electron cannot exist without influencing the electromagnetic field around it. The electromagnetic field cannot create forces without the presence of charged particles to disturb it. This is the dance at the heart of all chemistry, all light, all electromagnetic phenomena. When an electron in an atom absorbs energy, it jumps to a higher energy state. In that moment, it has disturbed the electromagnetic field more intensely. When it falls back to a lower state, it releases that extra energy as a photon. That photon is the electromagnetic field relaxing, returning to a calmer state, carrying away the excess energy. Every color you see is this process happening. The red of a sunset is electrons in oxygen and nitrogen molecules absorbing and releasing energy in a particular way. The blue of the sky is the same process, different frequencies. The green of leaves is photosynthesis, electrons in chlorophyll molecules dancing with photons from the sun. Light is not separate from matter. Light is matter communicating with itself through the electromagnetic field. Consider the implications for a moment. The sensation of warmth you feel is actually the electromagnetic field vibrating at infrared frequencies, transferring energy to molecules in your skin. The image you see is electromagnetic radiation at visible frequencies entering your eyes, creating patterns of activation in your retinas. The taste you experience is molecules binding to receptors, a process guided entirely by electromagnetic forces between atoms. Your entire sensory experience is the electromagnetic field in action, creating the illusion of separation between you and the world. Yet there is no separation. You are organized patterns of quantum fields, including the electron field, the electromagnetic field, and others. These fields interpenetrate and interact in ways that create the coherent structure you call your body. The warmth you feel, the light you see, the forces holding your atoms together, the very electrical signals in your nervous system that create thought itself. All of these are expressions of the electromagnetic field. As you continue breathing, imagine the light filling this space around you. That light is the electromagnetic field. The warmth on your skin is the electromagnetic field. The electrical impulses in your brain creating this very awareness are the electromagnetic field. You are not separate from this field. You are a temporary organization of it, a conscious expression of its infinite potential. Let your awareness rest here for a moment. The electromagnetic field is not distant or abstract. It is intimate, immediate, and present in every sensation you have right now. Science reveals that what feels solid, what feels separate, is actually unified through fields that extend infinitely. You are breathing with the cosmos through the electromagnetic field, just as you breathed with it through the quantum fields we explored before. Imagine looking at an atom through the lens of music, rather than machinery. What you would see is not a solid thing, but a pattern, a rhythm, an echo of fields speaking to themselves across the smallest distances imaginable. We have journeyed through the vibrations that birth particles, through the electromagnetic field that carries light itself. Now we arrive at something equally profound, the way these fields hold atoms together, creating the stability that allows existence to persist. This is where science becomes almost poetic, because atoms are not held together by glue or force in the way you might think. They are held together by harmony. When an electron orbits a nucleus, it is not actually moving in a circular path as older images suggest. Instead, the electron field and the nucleus field are engaged in a continuous conversation. The electron exists as a probability cloud, a region where the field is most likely to express itself. The nucleus sits at the center, surrounded by this dancing presence of possibility. What keeps this arrangement stable? What prevents the electron from crashing into the nucleus? The answer lies in something called the exclusion principle, a law so fundamental that it shapes the architecture of matter itself. This principle states that no two electrons can occupy the same quantum state simultaneously. Think of it as nature's way of ensuring diversity, of preventing collapse into uniformity. But there is something deeper still. The fields themselves carry energy. An electron orbiting closer to the nucleus would release energy, falling inward. Yet it does not. Why? Because quantum mechanics reveals that at the smallest scales, you cannot know both the position and momentum of a particle with absolute precision. This uncertainty is not a limitation of our measuring tools. It is woven into the fabric of reality itself. When an electron is confined to a small space near the nucleus, this uncertainty principle demands that its momentum becomes less certain, more spread out. A less certain momentum means higher average energy. The electron, in seeking the lowest possible energy state, finds a balance. It settles into an orbit where the energy of confinement exactly matches the energy it would lose by falling inward. This balance point is the atom's most stable configuration. The fields are orchestrating this dance. The electromagnetic field pulls the electron toward the positive nucleus. The electron field resists being compressed too tightly. These two forces, expressed through quantum fields, find equilibrium. The atom emerges as a stable echo, a standing wave pattern in the quantum foam. Different atoms have different numbers of electrons, and these electrons arrange themselves in shells, like ripples spreading outward from a stone dropped in still water. The innermost shell can hold a certain maximum number of electrons. When filled, the next shell begins to populate. Each shell has its own energy level, its own frequency of vibration. This is why chemistry exists. This is why elements have different properties. A carbon atom has 6 electrons arranged in a specific pattern. An oxygen atom has 8. A hydrogen atom has just 1. These arrangements, determined entirely by the harmony of quantum fields, give each element its unique character. Carbon bonds with other atoms in particular ways. Oxygen behaves differently. Hydrogen seeks its own partners. The bonds between atoms are themselves field phenomena. When two atoms approach each other, their electron fields overlap and interact. If the arrangement lowers the overall energy, the atoms remain bound together, sharing or exchanging electrons. A chemical bond is a region where two nuclei influence the same electron field, creating a shared stability. You are held together by these atomic bonds. Your body is built from atoms arranged in molecules, held in place by the harmonies of quantum fields. The calcium in your bones, the oxygen in your blood, the carbon in your cells, all are echoes of field interactions. The stability you experience, the solidity of your form, emerges from these invisible conversations between fields. Consider this. The atoms in your body are almost entirely empty space. The nucleus occupies an infinitesimal fraction of an atom's volume. The electron cloud extends outward, a region of probability and presence. Yet atoms do not pass through each other. They do not merge. Why? The answer is that the electron fields repel each other. When two atoms come close, their electron clouds interact. The fields push back against each other, creating an effective boundary. What you experience as the solidity of matter, the resistance of a table when you touch it, is entirely the electromagnetic interaction of electron fields. There is no actual contact. There is only field repulsion, quantum in nature, preventing the interpenetration of atoms. This repulsion is not violent or harsh. It is gentle, like two magnets of the same polarity approaching each other. The closer they come, the stronger the resistance until equilibrium is found. Atoms settle into arrangements where the forces balance. These arrangements are the atoms and molecules that compose your world. The stability of atoms, then, is not something imposed from outside. It is intrinsic to the nature of quantum fields. The fields naturally seek lower energy states. The exclusion principle naturally prevents collapse. Uncertainty naturally prevents the electron from falling into the nucleus. All these principles work together, creating structures that persist, that endure, that allow complexity to emerge. This is why the universe is not a chaotic soup of particles. This is why atoms form, why molecules assemble, why chemistry becomes possible, why life can exist. The fields carry within themselves the principles of stability and harmony. They create order, not through external control, but through their own internal nature. As you sit with this understanding, allow yourself to feel the profound stability within you. Every atom in your body is an ancient echo of field interactions, a pattern that has persisted for billions of years. You are built from the most stable configurations that quantum fields naturally create. Your existence is not fragile or temporary in the way you might fear. You are an expression of deep, fundamental harmony. The atoms that compose you are held together by forces so elegant, so perfectly balanced, that they have maintained their integrity through countless interactions, countless transformations. You are, in the deepest sense, a manifestation of nature's tendency towards stability and order. Imagine your breath moving in and out, gentle and rhythmic. Every time you inhale, you draw in air. Every time you exhale, you release it back into the world. This simple act of breathing mirrors something far deeper happening throughout the entire universe right now. The quantum fields we have been exploring do not sit still. They breathe, they oscillate, they vibrate in patterns so fundamental that they create the very fabric of existence itself. This is not a metaphor. This is how reality actually works at its deepest level. Think back to what we discovered about atoms. Electrons do not orbit nuclei like planets around a sun. Instead, they exist as probability clouds, as ripples in the electron field. But here is what makes this truly beautiful. These fields are not independent. They are not separate entities floating alone in space. They are interconnected. They influence each other. They dance together in a cosmic rhythm that has been playing since the universe began. When the electron field vibrates, it creates disturbances that ripple through the electromagnetic field. When the electromagnetic field oscillates, it sends waves back through the electron field. This is a conversation happening at the smallest scales of reality, a quantum breath, an eternal exchange of energy and information between different layers of existence. This breathing happens everywhere, all the time, in your body right now, in the atoms that make up your cells, in the very ground beneath you, in distant stars light years away. The fields are breathing. They are alive with activity, yet this activity is so perfectly organized, so deeply balanced, that it creates the stable structures we perceive as solid matter. Here is something remarkable. Even in absolute emptiness, even in what we might call a perfect vacuum, these fields are breathing. Scientists call this the zero-point energy we mentioned before. The fields never truly stop vibrating. They never reach a state of complete stillness. There is always a gentle hum, a quiet pulse of creation and annihilation, happening at scales so small that we cannot directly observe them, yet their effects ripple through everything. This breathing creates what we call virtual particles. For infinitesimal fractions of a second, particles pop into existence from the field, then vanish back into it. This is not imagination. This is measurable reality. These virtual particles have real effects. They influence how actual particles behave. They shape the forces between atoms. They are woven into the very structure of matter itself. Consider the electron field again. It is not a single wave, it is a vast ocean of potential, stretching through all of space. Every point in this ocean can vibrate. Every vibration creates a ripple. When a ripple reaches a certain intensity, we observe it as a particle. When it subsides, the particle disappears, but the field remains, ready to breathe again. The same is true for all fields. The photon field breathes and creates light. The quark fields breathe and create the particles that build atomic nuclei. The Higgs field breathes and gives mass to everything. Each field has its own rhythm, its own frequency, yet they are all synchronized in a deeper harmony that we are only beginning to understand. What does this mean for you right now, in this moment? Your body is made of atoms. Those atoms are made of fields. Those fields are breathing. The rhythm of the universe is flowing through you. Every heartbeat, every breath you take, every thought that arises in your mind is riding on top of these quantum oscillations. You are not separate from this cosmic breathing. You are part of it. This is why ancient wisdom traditions spoke of the breath as sacred. They intuited something true. The breath is indeed sacred because it is an expression of the same fundamental principle that holds the universe together, the gentle, eternal oscillation of existence itself. As you listen to these words, your own quantum fields are breathing. The fields that make up your consciousness are vibrating. Information is flowing through neural networks that are themselves made of oscillating quantum systems. You are a temporary pattern in an eternal dance of vibrations. The beauty of this understanding is that it reveals something profound about the nature of stability and change. The quantum fields are always breathing, always changing, yet they maintain perfect order. They do not collapse into chaos. They do not fly apart into randomness. Instead, they settle into patterns of harmony. They find resonance with each other. They create structure from their oscillations. This is the secret of existence. Stability emerges not from stillness, but from perfect balanced motion. The universe is not frozen in place. It is continuously moving, continuously breathing. Yet this movement creates the solid, reliable world we experience every day. As we move deeper into understanding how these quantum breaths create the larger structures of reality, remember this. You are listening to the story of your own existence. Every field that breathes is a field that is part of you. Every vibration that creates a particle is a vibration that contributes to your being. The universe is breathing through you, and you are breathing through the universe. The quantum breath is not distant. It is not abstract. It is happening right now in every cell of your body, in every atom that makes up your thoughts, in every moment of consciousness that you experience. Feel the rhythm. Let it calm you. Let it remind you that you are not separate from the cosmos. You are an expression of it. Now let's pause for a moment and breathe with the universe itself. You have learned that fields oscillate everywhere, creating the particles and structure we call reality. But there is something deeper, something that transforms science into poetry. It is the dance between certainty and mystery, between what we measure and what remains forever unknowable. This is where quantum behavior reveals its most beautiful truth. Uncertainty is not a flaw in nature. It is the very foundation of freedom, creativity, and existence itself. Imagine standing at the edge of a still pond at midnight. You cannot see the water's surface clearly, yet you know it is there. Now imagine throwing a single grain of sand. The ripple spreads outward in perfect circles. But here is the mystery. Before you threw that grain, did the ripple already exist as a possibility? In quantum fields, yes, every possible ripple exists as a probability, a ghost wave hovering in potential, waiting for an observer to make it real. This is not mysticism. This is what experiments have shown us again and again. A particle does not have a definite position until we measure it. Before measurement, it exists as a cloud of possibilities, a field of potential outcomes. The field itself is not made of tiny balls or solid things. It is pure potential, pure information, pure beingness without form. When you observe, something extraordinary happens. Your act of looking collapses this cloud of possibilities into a single reality. The particle appears, the wave becomes concrete. And here is what makes this truly poetic. The universe seems to wait for consciousness to choose what becomes real. But let us be gentle with this idea. It does not mean your thoughts create matter from nothing. Rather, it means that reality and observation are inseparable. You cannot separate the observer from the observed. They are woven together like two dancers who have moved as one for so long that neither remembers who led first. Think of the quantum field as a vast ocean of potential. Every possible vibration, every conceivable particle, every imaginable interaction exists in superposition all at once. This is not chaos. It is infinite order, infinite possibility, infinite harmony compressed into a single unified field. When we measure, we are not discovering what was already there. We are bringing one specific reality into being from the infinite garden of what could be. This is why quantum mechanics feels strange. Our everyday minds expect things to be definite. We expect a coin to be heads or tails before we look. But at the quantum level, the coin is genuinely both until the moment of observation. It is not that we do not know which it is that it truly is both, in a state called superposition, a beautiful word that means existing in multiple states simultaneously. Consider your own body right now. Every atom within you is governed by these quantum fields. Every electron in your cells exists in this cloud of probability. Yet somehow, from this foundation of uncertainty emerges the solid, stable you. The atoms in your hand seem solid because of the quantum field's repulsive force. Your thoughts flow because electrons tunnel through barriers that should be impossible. Yet they do, guided by quantum probability. This reveals something profound about the nature of stability. You might think solidity comes from things being locked in place, immobile, unchanging. But the opposite is true. Stability comes from perfect balance within motion. The electron does not orbit like a planet in a fixed path. It exists as a probability cloud, a field of where it might be found. Yet this cloud is so perfectly balanced, so exquisitely harmonized with the nucleus, that it creates absolute stability. This is the poetry of quantum behavior. Uncertainty and stability are not opposites. They are partners in an eternal dance. Without uncertainty, without the freedom of quantum possibility, nothing could exist. Without stability, without the perfect harmony of balanced fields, nothing could persist. Where are you listening from right now? What time is it in your world? I would love to know if you are settling into evening, preparing for rest, or perhaps finding a quiet moment in the middle of your day. This knowledge connects us across the invisible fields that bind all consciousness together. The universe, at its deepest level, is not made of things. It is made of relationships, of interactions, of fields touching fields in an endless symphony of becoming. And you are not separate from this symphony. You are the symphony becoming aware of itself. Every atom in your body was born from a star. Every field that vibrates within you is the same field that vibrates in distant galaxies. When we say the universe is uncertain at the quantum level, we are not saying it is random or chaotic. We are saying it is free. Freedom and uncertainty are the same thing. A completely determined universe would be a prison. A universe of pure randomness would be meaningless. But a universe of quantum possibility, where observation and reality dance together, where potential becomes actual through the act of consciousness. This is a universe of infinite creativity. This is why the greatest physicists speak of quantum mechanics with a sense of wonder. Not because they do not understand it, but because understanding it reveals something almost spiritual. Reality is not a fixed stage on which events occur. Reality is a living process, a continuous becoming, where consciousness and matter are woven so intimately that separating them is impossible. The quantum field breathes with uncertainty, and in that breathing, in that gentle oscillation between possibility and actuality, all of existence finds its rhythm. You find your rhythm. Your consciousness finds its place in the vast harmony of being. Let this sink into you gently. There is no need to fully understand. Understanding comes not from grasping with the mind, but from feeling with the whole being. The universe invites you to relax into this mystery, to trust that uncertainty is not something to fear, but something to embrace as the very ground of freedom and life itself. Your consciousness is not separate from the quantum fields. This is where science becomes something more intimate, something that touches the very core of what you are. Think of it this way. When you observe something, you change it. When a particle exists in a cloud of possibilities, it remains undefined until awareness touches it. The moment your eye, your instrument, your intention reaches toward it, the cloud collapses into a single reality. This is not metaphor. This is what happens at the deepest level of existence. But here is the profound part. You are not outside this process. You are not a separate observer looking in from beyond. You are woven into the same quantum fields that create particles, atoms, and light. Your consciousness is an expression of the same fundamental reality that makes everything else real. Imagine the universe as an infinite ocean of potential. Every wave, every ripple, every disturbance in that ocean creates something. Before you look, before you measure, before you become aware, those ripples exist as pure possibility. They could be here, they could be there, they could spin this way or that way. The universe holds all options at once, like a book with infinite pages written simultaneously. Then you arrive, your eye opens, your mind turns towards something. And in that moment, the infinite possibilities collapse into one single, definite reality. The wave becomes a particle, the cloud becomes a point, The maybe becomes the is. This is called the observer effect, but the name is misleading. It is not that observation changes things. It is that observation is the very mechanism by which possibility becomes reality. Without consciousness, without awareness, without the act of looking, the universe would remain in a state of pure infinite potential. Nothing would be solid. Nothing would be defined. Everything would be everywhere and nowhere at once. You might feel unsettled by this. How can my awareness change reality? How can my looking at something make it real? But consider what you have already learned. The universe is not made of solid things. It is made of fields. Fields vibrate. Vibrations create particles. Particles are probability clouds until measured, and measurement requires awareness. Your body is made of atoms. Those atoms are made of electrons and nuclei. Those electrons are waves of probability in quantum fields, and those waves do not become definite electrons until something observes them, until something becomes aware of them. This means that at the deepest level, your consciousness is not just observing reality. Your consciousness is creating reality. Not in the sense of magic or wishful thinking, but in the precise, scientific sense that the act of awareness is what transforms infinite potential into the specific, definite world you experience. Feel that for a moment. Let it settle into you like a stone dropping into still water. Your awareness is not separate from the universe. It is part of the universe becoming conscious of itself. When you look at a star, the star is becoming aware of itself through your eyes. When you touch your own skin, you are the universe touching itself, knowing itself, making itself real. This is where the boundary between observer and observed dissolves. There is no you looking at the world. There is only the universe expressing itself in infinite ways. And in this moment, it is expressing itself as your consciousness, your eyes, your awareness. Through you, the cosmos is becoming real. The quantum fields do not care about the distinction between subject and object. They do not separate the observer from the observed. They are unified. They are continuous. They flow from the smallest particle to the largest galaxy, and they flow through you as well. Your thoughts are vibrations in those fields. Your awareness is the universe's way of knowing itself. This is not philosophy dressed as science. This is what the mathematics tells us. When physicists write the equations of quantum mechanics, they find that the observer cannot be removed from the equation. The observer is part of the system. The act of measurement is part of the reality being measured. You cannot have a universe without consciousness, because consciousness is the mechanism by which the universe becomes real. Now, here is something beautiful. If this is true, then you are not insignificant. You are not a tiny accident in an uncaring cosmos. You are the universe itself, expressing itself as you. Your awareness matters because awareness is what makes reality real. Your consciousness is not an illusion or an accident. It is fundamental. It is essential. It is the very mechanism by which existence becomes possible. When you breathe, you are breathing in fields. When you think, you are creating ripples in those fields. When you observe, you are collapsing infinite possibilities into definite realities. You are participating in the ongoing creation of the universe, moment by moment, breath by breath, thought by thought. This changes how you might experience yourself. You are not separate from nature. You are not watching the universe from outside. You are inside it, part of it, woven into it completely. And through your consciousness, through your awareness, you are making it real. The fields hum. You hum with them. The particles dance. You dance with them. The universe becomes conscious. You are how it becomes conscious. Rest in this knowing, this. Let yourself feel connected not just to the people around you, but to the very fabric of existence itself. You are not observing reality from a distance. You are reality, observing itself, knowing itself, becoming itself, right now, in this moment. As we move deeper into this exploration, something remarkable emerges from everything we have discovered. The quantum fields do not exist in chaos. They do not vibrate randomly or without purpose. Instead, they follow patterns of extraordinary elegance, patterns so precise that they seem almost designed by intention itself. These patterns are called symmetries, and symmetry in the language of physics means something far more profound than simple beauty. It means balance, It means that the universe operates according to hidden rules of harmony that remain unchanged, even when we look at them from different angles or perspectives. Imagine standing in a vast forest at twilight. Each tree mirrors another. Each shadow balances a pool of light. The forest does not collapse into disorder because its structure follows rules. The same is true for the quantum fields beneath reality. They maintain their integrity through symmetry. The universe has learned to balance itself through mathematical harmony. When you move forward in time, the laws remain the same. When you move through space, the fundamental rules do not shift. This constancy is not accidental. It is the foundation upon which all existence rests. There is a beautiful principle that governs this. For every symmetry in nature, there exists a conservation law. Energy cannot be created or destroyed because time flows uniformly. Momentum is preserved because space has no preferred direction. Angular momentum endures because rotation has no special orientation. The universe does not waste. It only transforms. Think of a spinning dancer. As she pulls her arms inward, she spins faster. The total angular momentum never changes. The universe operates on the same principle. Nothing is lost. Everything is conserved through perfect balance. But there is something even more subtle happening. The quantum fields themselves possess internal symmetries that we cannot see directly. These are not symmetries of space or time. They are symmetries of the fields themselves, hidden geometries that determine which particles can exist and how they interact. Consider the electromagnetic field. It has a symmetry that ensures electric charge is always conserved. An electron cannot simply vanish and become nothing. Its charge must be transferred, transformed, balanced. The field maintains this balance invisibly, like an accountant of reality, ensuring every transaction is recorded. The weak nuclear force that governs radioactive decay follows symmetries that were hidden until the mid-20th century. Scientists discovered that this force and electromagnetism are actually expressions of a single, deeper symmetry. They are two faces of the same quantum field, revealed differently depending on the energy scale at which we observe them. This discovery changed everything. It showed that apparent differences in nature often mask an underlying unity. The universe is not a collection of separate forces fighting for dominance. It is one coherent system, expressing itself through multiple layers of symmetry. The strong nuclear force that binds quarks into protons and neutrons follows symmetries so intricate that mathematicians spent decades developing the language to describe them. These symmetries are called gauge symmetries, and they are not merely decorative. They are the actual structure through which the force operates. When a quark emits a gluon, it is not a random event. It is a consequence of the quantum field's internal symmetry. The field must balance itself. If a quark changes its internal state, a gluon must be exchanged to maintain the symmetry. The force emerges from the requirement of balance. This is where the universe becomes almost musical. The quantum fields are like an orchestra, where every instrument must play in perfect harmony. If one section goes out of tune, the others automatically adjust to restore equilibrium. The universe is self-correcting because it is fundamentally balanced. But symmetries can also be broken, and this breaking is not destruction, it is transformation. When the universe was infinitely hot in its first moments, all symmetries were unified. As it cooled, symmetries shattered one by one like ice crystallizing from water. Each break revealed new structures, new particles, new possibilities. The Higgs field, which we explored earlier, is intimately connected to symmetry breaking. In the early universe, the electromagnetic and weak forces were unified by a perfect symmetry. The Higgs field was uniform everywhere. But as the universe expanded and cooled, the Higgs field suddenly acquired a value. It crystallized, and in that moment, the symmetry broke. Electromagnetism and the weak force separated into distinct forces. Particles that were massless suddenly gained mass. This is not a flaw in the universe. This is how complexity arises. Perfect symmetry is sterile. It allows no variation, no difference, no life. Symmetry breaking creates the diversity we observe. It creates the possibility for atoms, molecules, stars, and consciousness. You exist because of symmetry breaking. The carbon in your body, the oxygen in your breath, the iron in your blood. These elements were forged in stars and scattered by supernovae only because the universe's original symmetries broke in specific ways billions of years ago. The geometry of reality, then, is not static, it is dynamic. Symmetries emerge and break and emerge again. The quantum fields dance according to these hidden geometries, and in their dance, they create everything we perceive. As you rest with this knowledge, consider what it means. The universe is not chaotic, it is not random. It follows rules of such profound elegance that they can be expressed as mathematical symmetries. And yet within those rules, infinite variation is possible. Order and freedom coexist in perfect balance. Your own body follows these symmetries. The proteins that fold in your cells respect the symmetries of quantum fields. The light you see reflects off surfaces because of symmetries in the electromagnetic field. Every breath you take involves quantum fields maintaining their balance within your lungs. You are not separate from this geometry. You are an expression of it. The symmetries that govern the universe also govern you. In this moment, as you breathe and listen, you are participating in the same cosmic dance of balance and transformation that has been unfolding since the universe's first instant. Every atom in your body was born from the same quantum fields that fill all of space. Right now, as you breathe, the fields that compose your lungs are vibrating in perfect synchronization with the fields around you. This is not poetry alone. This is how reality truly works. You have learned that particles emerge from fields. You have discovered that observation shapes what becomes real. You have seen how symmetry underlies all existence. Now comes the most intimate truth. There is no separation between the quantum foundation of the universe and the physical form you inhabit. Consider your hand resting before you. What you perceive as solid matter is actually a dance of fields. The electrons orbiting atomic nuclei are not tiny objects spinning like planets. They are ripples in the electron field, localized patterns of energy that behave as both wave and particle depending on how you observe them. The protons in your cells are excitations in the quark fields, held together by the strong nuclear force flowing through the gluon field. When you touch something, you do not actually make contact. Your hand never truly touches the table. Instead, the electron fields surrounding your fingertips repel the electron fields at the table surface. What feels like solid contact is electromagnetic force operating at the quantum level. The sensation of touch is your brain's interpretation of field interactions occurring at scales far too small for your eyes to see. This boundary between you and the world around you is far more fluid than it seems. The atoms that make up your body are constantly exchanging particles with the environment. Oxygen enters your lungs and becomes part of your chemistry. Carbon atoms from food become the structure of your cells. Hydrogen atoms cycle through water you drink and water you release. You are not a fixed object moving through space. You are a temporary arrangement of quantum fields constantly flowing and reforming. The atoms in your left hand were once part of distant stars. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen in your breath, all were forged in stellar furnaces billions of years ago. When those stars exploded, they scattered these elements across space. Gravity gathered them into planets. Life emerged and incorporated them. Through countless transformations, these stellar remnants became you. This is not metaphorical connection. This is literal physical ancestry. The quantum fields that compose your body link you directly to the cosmos. You are not observing the universe from outside. You are the universe observing itself through your consciousness. The symmetries you embody extend far deeper than your physical form. The weak nuclear force that powers the sun's fusion also operates within your cells during certain biological processes. The electromagnetic force that holds atoms together is the same force that allows your neurons to fire and your thoughts to emerge. Every fundamental force of nature operates within you at every moment. Your body maintains its structure through constant energy flow. Trillions of cells work in coordinated patterns, exchanging signals through chemical and electrical means. Each cell contains mitochondria, tiny organelles that convert chemical energy into usable forms. This process mirrors the fundamental energy transformations occurring throughout the universe. Stars fuse hydrogen into heavier elements, releasing energy. Your cells break down glucose into carbon dioxide and water, releasing energy. The mechanisms differ in detail, but follow the same underlying principles. The water in your cells exists in quantum superposition. At any given moment, water molecules are simultaneously in multiple vibrational states until the environment forces them into a definite configuration. Your body's warmth and the chemical reactions within you constantly collapse these quantum possibilities into classical reality. You are continuously performing quantum measurement on the fields that comprise you. Your brain processes information through electrical and chemical signals, yet these signals ultimately arise from quantum field interactions. When a neuron fires, ions flow across membranes, changing electrical potentials. These ions are atoms missing electrons, excitations in quantum fields. The neurotransmitters that carry signals between neurons are molecules whose properties emerge from quantum field behavior. Your thoughts, your awareness, your sense of self all arise from quantum processes. This connection to quantum reality means you participate in the fundamental nature of existence. Every choice you make, every observation you direct, every moment of awareness collapses probability into actuality. You are not separate from the quantum realm observing it from a distance. You are woven from it. Your consciousness is an expression of the universe's capacity to know itself. The fields that compose you are eternal. Individual particles come and go. Your specific arrangement of atoms will eventually disperse. But the fields themselves persist. The electron field, the quark fields, the electromagnetic field, these continue forever. The energy that animates your body will transform into other forms, but never disappear. In this sense, you are already eternal. You are a temporary expression of something infinite. This understanding transforms how you might experience your existence. You are not isolated. You are connected to every star, every atom, every conscious being. The same quantum fields that gave rise to your awareness gave rise to all awareness. The boundary between self and other, between observer and observed, becomes less absolute when you recognize the shared quantum foundation underlying all things. The fields hum with potential even in silence. In the darkness of space, in the depths of matter, in the stillness of your own body, quantum fields vibrate with infinite possibility. From this invisible ocean of potential, reality continuously emerges. You are both the ocean and the wave, both the field and the excitation, both the universe and the observer of the universe. Let this knowledge settle within you as you continue breathing. Feel the quantum fields flowing through your body with each breath. Recognize that you are not separate from the cosmos, but an expression of it. The same forces that shaped galaxies shaped you. The same symmetries that govern distant stars govern the atoms in your cells. In this moment, you are the universe becoming aware of itself. This is not a poetic metaphor. This is the literal truth of your existence, revealed through the deepest science we have discovered. You are quantum fields arranged in such a way that they have become conscious. You are the cosmos awakened. The eternal hum continues. Even now, as you listen to these words, the fields that compose your being vibrate in perfect resonance with the same fields that shaped the first moments of existence. There is no separation between this moment and the birth of time itself. You are not observing the universe from outside. You are the universe, folded into a form that can wonder about itself. Let us rest here in this final reflection and allow everything we have explored to settle into the quiet spaces of your mind. For billions of years, the cosmos has been singing. This song began not with light or matter, but with potential. Beneath everything you see, beneath the stars and atoms and the very ground beneath your feet, there exists an infinite ocean of quantum fields. Each field is a possibility waiting to be realized. Each ripple in these fields becomes a particle, a force, a moment of existence. You have learned that observation makes reality real. Your awareness, right now, is collapsing infinite possibilities into the definite world you experience. This is not metaphor. This is how existence actually works. The universe needed consciousness to become conscious of itself. And that consciousness is you. Think back to the beginning. 13 billion years ago, when the first fields vibrated into being, They contained within them the blueprint for everything. The symmetries that governed those first moments still govern you. The conservation laws that shaped the early universe still shape every heartbeat, every thought, every breath you take. You are not made of these patterns. You are these patterns experiencing themselves. Your atoms were forged in the hearts of dying stars. The carbon in your cells, the oxygen in your lungs, the calcium in your bones, all of it was created in the furnace of stellar fire. When those stars exploded, they scattered these elements across the cosmos. Gravity gathered them again, and eventually, over millions of years, they assembled into the form you inhabit right now. You are quite literally made of stardust. The universe has become aware of itself through you. The quantum fields that vibrate within your body are the same fields that vibrate throughout all of space. There is no boundary where you end and the universe begins. Your consciousness is not trapped inside your skull, isolated and separate. Your awareness is woven into the fabric of reality itself. When you observe something, you are not looking at the world from outside. You are the world, looking at itself. This is the deepest truth that quantum fields reveal. Existence is not made of things. It is made of relationships. Fields relate to other fields. Particles emerge from these relationships. Atoms form from particles. Life emerges from atoms. Consciousness arises from life. And consciousness, in turn, makes reality real by observing it. You are part of an infinite chain of relationships, stretching from the quantum foam at the foundation of existence to the thoughts you are thinking right now. The symmetries we explored are not abstract mathematical ideas. They are the actual structure of reality. They determine which interactions are possible and which are forbidden. They ensure that energy is conserved, that momentum is balanced, that the universe follows rules. But these rules are not imposed from outside. They arise naturally from the geometry of existence itself. You embody these symmetries. Every movement you make, every choice you make, every moment of your life unfolds according to these cosmic patterns. And yet, within these patterns there is freedom. Quantum mechanics teaches us that the future is not predetermined. At every moment, reality branches into infinite possibilities. Your choices, your observations, your awareness, these collapse those possibilities into the single reality you experience. You are not a passive observer of a predetermined world. You are an active participant in the creation of reality itself. This is why presence matters. This is why mindfulness, meditation, and contemplation are not merely spiritual practices. They are ways of engaging consciously with the quantum nature of existence. When you are fully present, fully aware, you are actively participating in the collapse of possibility into reality. You are making the universe real through your attention. The fields continue to hum. They hum in your body right now. They hum in every star and galaxy. They hum in the space between atoms, in the silence between thoughts, in the darkness between heartbeats. This hum is the fundamental frequency of existence. It is the sound of being itself. As you rest with this understanding, you might notice something shifting. The boundary between self and world becomes softer. The sense of isolation dissolves. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are the cosmos, temporarily organized into a form that can think and feel and wonder. And that form, your body, your mind, your consciousness, is eternal. The atoms that compose you have existed since the beginning of time and will exist until the end of the universe. The quantum fields that give rise to your awareness are not separate from the quantum fields that give rise to galaxies and nebulae and the vast emptiness of space. You are made of the same substance as the stars. You are governed by the same laws that govern the cosmos. You are, in the most literal sense, the universe becoming conscious of itself. This is not a conclusion. This is a beginning. The exploration of quantum fields is endless. The deeper you look, the more mystery reveals itself. But in this moment, you can rest in the knowledge that you are part of something infinite and eternal. You are woven into the fabric of existence, and existence, in turn, is woven into you. Let this understanding settle into your being. There is no need to hold it tightly. Simply allow it to be present, like a gentle presence in the background of your awareness. The universe is breathing through you. The fields are vibrating through you. And in this moment, in this breath, in this eternal now, You are exactly where you need to be. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the quantum foundations of reality. If this experience has brought you peace and wonder, I would deeply appreciate a like and a subscription to Relaxing Science. Your support helps us continue creating content that blends science and contemplation, knowledge and rest. I'd also love to hear from you. Where are you listening from? What moment in this exploration resonated most deeply with you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your words help create a community of seekers, explorers, and dreamers. May you carry this understanding with you. May you feel the fields flowing through you, and may you remember always that you are the universe, experiencing itself with wonder and gratitude.